This happens every fucking year, decade, every fucking country, generation. Doesn't matter where you're from, what you look like, your culture. Men will be men. We will all try and flex. We will all try and say, look, I earned 100,000. Look at me. Porsche, this, clothes, that. It's so fucking stupid. It's so short-lived as well. Okay guys, this video is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to come at you with some stronger energy because so many guys out there need to understand this and understand this today. Now, I know I've done videos in the past of why men should stay single for longer. I truly believe in that, but make sure you know that I don't hate women and you shouldn't hate women. So, what I want to talk about today is the reason why so many men don't become successful. Now, that first bit was just kind of a disclaimer, but the reason so many guys don't become successful is because they're too worried about getting their fucking dick sucked. I'm telling you, this is the truth. You think about the popular guy in school. Why is the popular guy in school almost always unsuccessful when it comes to life? He's too good looking. He's too popular. He's invited to all the parties. He can date any girl he wants. He has no reason to improve. He has no reason to study. He has no reason to get better at anything or worry about where life's going to be in the future. And the knock-on effect is that everything crashes down because things are too fucking easy for this guy. Now, the mistake that a lot of people make when they come out of school is that they want to turn it all around. They want to change that. So then they might go and become successful. Go and get a very good career, start a business, get in better shape. Maybe the weedy kid at school, they just pack on some muscle, which I encourage. You know, it's good for self-confidence, etc. But then at the end of the day, we're all men, right? So I could not tell you how many of my fucking friends from school went and got a job for Google, Microsoft, other companies, and blew all of their money on a Porsche or something else, you know. One big holiday every single year to go somewhere like Magaluf just to sleep with women. Blew it all on clothes every single weekend. Went out to every single club, bottles of Ace of Spades, all this shit. There's one guy I went to school with, he was a genius. I sat next to him in geography, actually. He was an absolute genius. God knows how I was in the same class as him. I'm definitely not smart enough. But he got like straight A stars, went to university, just conquered everything. Everybody was like, he's going to be a multi-millionaire, he's going to be so successful. And he'd made a lot of money. He actually worked at, I think it was Microsoft. By the time he had, I don't know, like his first 40,000 saved after like a year of working there, he spent the whole lot on a Porsche and just went around bragging about it. My other friend landed a job worth 6 figures a year and spent all the money on a flat and a brand new Mercedes, and then had to turn all that around because he couldn't afford it and had to backtrack and go back a couple steps because that fucked him up. Now, I said at the start, too many guys are worried about getting their dick sucked. This happens every fucking year, decade, every fucking country, generation. Doesn't matter where you're from, what you look like, your culture. Men will be men. We will all try and flex. We will all try and say, look, I earned 100,000. Look at me. Porsche, this, clothes, that. It's so fucking stupid. It's so short-lived as well. You can't go and earn money and then say, I want to impress women. So you go and buy the nice new car. You know, you go and earn a bit of money, so you go out on the weekend, you buy the most expensive bottle, you're flexing, you're like, look at my bank balance in front of all the women. More men need to realize that is a mere novelty of life. And I'm not going to lie to you. Having women notice you, that are attracted to you, girls that used to be out of your reach now wanting you, it's a good feeling. Of course it is. For any man, it's a good feeling. We're all going to feel fantastic because you feel like the guy, you know. The problem is everyone thinks they're the man until the man walks in. And you might be able to spank 30, 40,000, you know, in a year on a nice Porsche or something else. You might be able to walk into the club for one night and drop 1,000 or 2. There are people out there that can do that on an hourly basis and not give a shit. It doesn't even make a dent in their pockets. Now, that isn't to belittle anybody. That is just to pen you back and say, you're not shit until that's a regular thing. So my message to a lot of you guys is, the ones who have already made it or made a little bit of money or who are about to in the future, be very fucking careful when you make a little bit of money, because life is addictive. Now, you'll want to impress all the people from your old life. You'll want to impress women, especially. You'll want to just have stuff and be like, look at me, I'm great. And I encourage you to do that sort of thing, but put some restraint and control on it. Don't be stupid. So if you've got 50,000 in your bank account, don't go and spend 49,000 on a car and say, I've got 1,000 left, I'm fine, I could still pay my bills, I'll earn more next month. Always plan for the long run. The one thing a lot of people don't realize is they think that being poor sucks. Now, I made a decent amount of money and my whole business got deleted and I lost it all and I went back to zero. Minus, quite frankly. And I've built my way back up to where I am today, where things are pretty good. They're not where they were, they will be, and they're going to be a lot bigger. I'm only 27, I'm coming back. But a lot of guys will make a little bit of money and then throw the whole lot into stunting, proving who they are, trying to impress those around them. And it's just the stupidest decision in the world. And the quote I was going to say was, if you think being poor is bad, try becoming rich and then going back to being poor again. Because it sucks ass. It sucks ass so fucking hard. And mine wasn't even my fault. So I can make excuses if I wanted to. Now, imagine if you were one of those people who did finally earn, I don't know, $500,000 in a year, good amount of money, and you went and spent 400,000 on stuff. And then the tax man starts calling, and then other problems, and then the sponsors you thought you were going to get dry up. You make one PR move that goes wrong and your whole audience goes running for the hills and thinks you're homophobic or something. Kevin Hart style, right? It can happen, guys. So always protect what you have and don't be so assured that you've made it yet until that is real concrete. The fuck you money. That doesn't mean you should mess it all up, but just be balanced. There's nothing wrong. Like, let's say you're the type of guy who's obsessed with women and you love dating escorts or flying, girls that aren't in your position around the world, like a little power play. Expensive habit. Just do it once a month. You might earn 20,000 in a month. Just spend 2,000 on that little trip. Just budget it. Just do it once a month. You still got 18,000. Like, that's the thing, guys. I'm not saying don't live your lives and do what you want to do. But don't stunt too hard in order to impress those around you. Especially women, because that's an addictive one. So many guys will spend more, give more to, charities if a woman is stood in front of them. Which is great, but are you doing it because you genuinely care and that's what you want to do? Or are you doing it because testosterone just increased and you want to get your dick sucked? Hence why I said that at the start. And to bring it back to where I was earlier, where I said for the guys who've already made it. So for the guys who are just starting out, be very, very careful because you don't have a lot. So for the guys that are earning 20,000 a month, you could stunt a little bit, 2,000-3,000 maybe. Don't push it too hard. You could get a Range Rover on finance. I don't encourage financial, debt like that, but you could. You'd probably be okay. You could probably live that life. But the guys who are earning either nothing to around about 4,000 per month, you got to be using and that's not a small amount of money. I'm not belittling that. I've been there. I've been on that money. I still think that's a lot of money today, 4,000 a month to live on. If you're going to put most of that into impressing people, impressing women, going on nights out, buying new clothes, I'm in my overdraft. I don't know what you call it in America, I guess below zero, bankrupt. I don't know what it would be. I'm in my overdraft, but I'm wearing Gucci loafers. What the fuck is that about? Honest to God, I will never understand that as long as I live. That pussy power is dangerous. And that's the one reason why so many of us stunt and look at our friends and say, look what I've done. The end goal always rotates back around to, I want women. Or if you're gay, it always rotates back around to, I want more men to notice me. I don't think it works the same for gay guys. I think that there's a reason that gay couples are the most financially able in the world. You know, both two high earning people. I think it works a little bit different, but I wouldn't really know. I'd have to get a gay person on. Leave any suggestions in the comments. I'd love to get more guests on. I think we've got 3 coming on for the remainder of this month. That should be fun. Maybe more. Some exciting ones. So a bodyweight one that you guys will love. But in terms of what we were saying, guys, you just can't be spending that amount of money. You just cannot be spending that amount of money, especially when you don't have it. At the start is when you need to be frugal, you need to make those sacrifices, and you need to stop worrying about women's approval, the people around you's approval. You know, the kind of validation by like, oh, I had sex. Great. You know, I pulled up in a Porsche and she looked at me. Oh, wow. Got my little penis hard. Woohoo. Like, stop all that shit, guys. You have to stop it. Now, I'm not saying you can't do that in the future, but in the short term, care about you most. You have to be selfish. If you want to get to that point, you've got to be so selfish to begin with. You've got to push forward with everything you have. And if you don't have the time, which I assume you don't at the start because you probably got a job like everybody does. If you don't have the time, you got to have the money. If you don't have the money, you got to have the time. You got to have one or the other. And I assume most people don't have the time because they've got jobs, girlfriends, everything going on. But you do have the money if you want it. And it won't be millions, it won't be bags of it. But believe me, coming from somebody who is a fucking expert at making shit happen for 0 or close to it, you've got the money. It's very fucking easy. Very fucking easy. Save that money, put it into everything that you're doing, cut your bills down, wear the same fucking clothes. You'll probably see me do it on this podcast. I couldn't give a shit. I spend it on decent stuff. And ignore all the other crap that people are trying to push you towards. You know, or you think society's going to give you a good handshake for and say, good man for getting your penis sucked. Fantastic. Because when you're broke and you have nothing left, I guarantee you, this isn't all women, but most of the women will be gone. Your car will go. The looks that people are giving you will go. The fake friends that you managed to get won't be by your side anymore. There's a lot of people that are going to drop out of your life. The networking, the business deals, everything that was there at one point when you think you're on top and you think you're the man, all gone. And if you don't believe me, type in True Geordie. Go and watch his channel, his podcast. He's done one about the fall of True Geordie. If you don't believe me, watch that. It can happen to anybody.